What's good, people? We're back again. Hope you're all good. 12th man is back. Arsenal Roundabout is back. We've got a different panel, some similar, I would say, to last week. So big up to everybody that's here. Big up to everyone that's involved. Big up to everybody that's hit like and subscribe already. If you haven't done so, then please make sure you do so now. Those two buttons are the most important ones. Hit the like and subscribe. And I was going to put the show back a bit later because of England, but they're 3-0 up. Watch it in the background on mute. It really isn't that exciting. But if you are into England, then of course, then crack on and watch it as we do chat Arsenal. But we are here to talk Arsenal. I'm not going to talk England, other than to say big up to Noni Madueke for scoring a very, very good goal just now for England. First goal for him. So big up to him. We've got some sponsors tonight. We've got OK Jerseys, 8% off using the code 12man, 12 man. Make sure that you go and get your jerseys. You can go and get England shirts as well if you want, if you are into that, international, or of course any other country that you are a supporter of. But they have got all the shirts that you need there. If you've not got number 10 Eze on the back of it yet, then make sure you go and do it because you can get your shirt numbers on the back as well. And the QR code on screen is for Match Bingo. If you are playing tonight for England game, good luck. Let me know if you've won. Make sure you've downloaded Match Bingo and you've got enough money in there to play for this weekend. Arsenal are back against Forest. We've got Christian in the house, DJ, we've got D, we've got Igal, and we've got Kenny Ken, and we're going to talk Arsenal. Boys, it's a pleasure to have you. Pleasure to have everybody with us. We've got over 200 people, which is brilliant. And I've got to be honest, I would like to start with the comments on the overlap by Paul Scholes, and I don't even know who it was, mentioning that Gyokeres is like playing with jeans on.
It was Ben. It was old Ben Bowman. I've done a show with him. It was on one of our shows not too long ago. He's a Spurs fan.
Huh? Oh, surprise! He's a Spurs fan.
Ben is the same guy, by the way, who was saying he's destined to be world class and he's going to join a top club soon. And he, honestly,
I got to be honest. Let's start with you, Christian, because obviously you know the guy, right? So I think it was half tongue in cheek, to be honest, and a bit of banter. Scholes obviously laughed at it. My question is this: I don't think Gyokeres has been outstanding, right, by any means. However, the guy scored 2 in 4 games, I think it is, or 3 games, sorry. 2 goals in 3 games. He did score in the Athletic game as well in the preseason. He isn't 100% fit, in my opinion, or 100% sharp yet, but I think that he is also getting that way. He's also learning a new league. I don't think the manager is setting him up in the way that I think he's going to be creating loads of chances at the last few games as well. But it's fine to say he hasn't really hit the ground running. But I kind of see it every single day at the moment. Oh, did you watch Gyokeres for Sweden? He was crap. Did you watch the game? Well, no, but I saw apparently he was crap. Right, okay. The whole of the team were crap, though, but he was crap. Okay. Well, did you see him against United? He's an absolute donkey. Did you see him against Liverpool? Didn't touch the ball. Did you see him against Leeds? Lucky penalty he got. There's no mention of Sesko. There's no mention of Florian Wirtz. I'm all for, telling people how it is and talking about Arsenal players when they're doing shit and when they're doing great. And when the manager's performing, I'll give him praise. When the manager's not performing, I'll criticise. But I think the rivals are really loving off this Gyokeres stuff. And Paul Scholes, if I'm honest with you, probably needs to look at Sesko taking the 10th penalty against Grimsby and not turning up and hiding behind Harry Maguire when it comes to the order. I don't really understand where all this Gyokeres hate is coming from. And I'm stunned that rival fans believe that maybe Victor Gyokeres should be on goal number 10 in 3 games now. Otherwise, he's a flop. I do not get it, bruv. I don't get it.
I don't want to say I don't get it because I'm used to modern day social media. We all know what it is, man. It's toxic. It's a cesspool. It's just horrible. And I say it all the time that negativity sells. If Gyokeres has a bad game, doesn't matter whether he's playing for Sweden, Arsenal, whoever. If you put a tweet out that manages to get some traction, it's most likely going to be a negative one. Players don't score every game, so there's going to be more games where players don't score than they score. That's just how it is. And it's just social media these days, man. I think you mentioned Wirtz. I think Wirtz is getting it quite bad. He hasn't been great necessarily since he's come to Liverpool. I don't think he's been bad. I think he's been all right. But when you come for a price tag like that, there's loads of expectation on you. Obviously, there's a lot of talk around you from fans. it kind of works both ways. I think as Arsenal fans, we're giving it so much about, look, we've got Gyokeres, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. That the rival fans almost, when he doesn't do well, they use that as the excuse to be negative and go back at it. So it does work both ways. But I'd rather not talk about, some idiots on the overlap or some people talking on social media. I'd rather talk about what I think about him as a player and at Arsenal and so far. And if I'm completely honest, and I take my bias hat off, I'm still not sure. That's me being completely honest. I've watched him in person. I've been at the Emirates at the Bilbao game. Like, I've seen him in the flesh and up close. And don't get me wrong, I don't think he's 100% fit. And maybe when he is 100% fit, it will be different. I think he's a good finisher. I think if we can play to his strengths, he's a good player. But I worry about him a little bit in terms of getting up to speed in the Premier League. Because I've seen strikers like, Van Persie in this era at the Emirates. Even Sanchez, he was playing up front for a while. Do you know what I mean? These ridiculously technical, top quality players. And he's come in to be at the level of those. I'm not going to go back to Henry. That's just before and when we got to the Emirates. But he's supposed to be at the level where he can be our best player every week. He's got to score 25, 30 goals. He's got to be the number 9, the one on the back of every shirt. And he is the one on the back of every shirt. But he is without proving it for Arsenal yet. And look, I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to get too over the top. But I think a lot of the criticism is, I don't want to say fair, but I understand some of it. Like, I actually watched the Sweden game last night. And he's playing against Kosovo. And there's a lot of times where he's just got to hold the ball up or make a run in behind or play a 1-2. And he's not necessarily convincing me. And I hope he proves me wrong. I hope I'll watch him against Forest on Saturday and then against City. And then, do you know what I mean? And he just gets better and better and better, which he can do. Because not every striker comes into the Premier League, or not every player comes into the Premier League and bangs straight away. We've seen it with so many players over the years, especially at Arsenal. Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, these players, they didn't score and bang straight away. So I'm not getting on his back, but just my opinion, away from social media influence, away from the toxic side of it, is he's still got to convince me. I wanted him at the club. I really wanted him. He's a goal scorer. We need a goal scorer. But there's still more he's got to do to convince me. I don't know about you guys, if anyone's... I don't think any fan's necessarily overly convinced. We saw him score 2 goals against Leeds. First goal was nice. Second goal was a penalty. But there's been moments where I've been like, he should be burying that. He had a chance in that Leeds game where it came to him and he scuffed it right in front of goal. Liverpool's tough, man. You're up against Van Dijk and Konate. We had no creativity behind him that day, so I can't really blame him for that. Even runs he did make, like the time when Martinelli was it was like a 3-on-3. Martinelli just got a pass to him, doesn't get the service. Against United, didn't really have the service either, and we were poor that day. So like I said, I don't want to jump the gun because we haven't, the sample size isn't that big yet. And there has been some good moments. But when it's a player that's supposed to be, the man, the most exciting player that's coming in to be the final missing piece, I think we do make opinions quickly, and which is why a lot of Arsenal fans are making opinions quickly. A lot of rival fans are jumping on his back. But yeah, that's my opinion. I'm not convinced yet. I do think he'll score goals, and I do think he'll get better, but I just think Arteta has a big job to do to build this system around him, because otherwise he's going to turn into Kai Havertz.
Now we're talking.
That's what I'm saying.
I was going to say I was actually going to disagree with quite a lot of you said, Christian, about him. Now you've pulled it back for me. That's the level I'm on. I'm looking at the manager, not the player. I know this player can score 100 goals in 2 seasons because he's done that for Sporting Lisbon. I'm not saying he's going to get 102 for Arsenal before people shoot me down, but if this guy can't score 15 goals, there's something wrong with the way we're playing, right? So I need to see more creative stuff coming for him. I don't think there's been any through balls where we put Gyokeres through and we've gone, oh, what a flop. He can't even put it on target. Or, you mentioned the Leeds game, which he should have done better with. He took too quickly, had a lot more time than he thought. But I need to see more than that before I start saying, yeah, this guy's going to flop. I don't think it's Gyokeres who's the issue. I've got to be honest. I think it's the way we've set up and the style that we've had against Liverpool and Manchester United, which I don't think have flattered him. I don't think have made it easy for him. I don't think I've seen any creativity in the final third to make me realise that this guy is going to be banging goals playing the way we are, because he literally is getting fed ball after ball after ball, cross after cross after cross. I haven't seen that. I don't know what you think, DJ.
Yeah, it was my concern when he came to the club and when we was in line to sign him. The first thing I said on streams was, unless we change the way we play, unless we get more creative, Gyokeres will be looking bang average, and he'll be open to all sorts of criticism. And I've been saying it time and time and time again. The first 3 games has just proven the reasons why he's left himself open to criticisms, because we just haven't been creative. If you look at the amount of chances and the amount of touches that he's had, we've just not played to his strengths, and that's got to change, and it's got to change rapidly. And if you look at the other club he's at, they was all playing to his strengths. Sort of game plan was kind of set around him, so that's why he was scoring goals. Another reason why he's probably open to criticism, and a lot of Arsenal players are, is because we as a fan base are our own kind of enemies, really, because we put these players on such a pedestal, and when they sign for Arsenal, suddenly they're the best thing in the world, and they're world-class players, and they're this, they're that, and they're playing at Arsenal. So we open ourselves up as a fan base that when a player doesn't reach those heights, other media and other like the Overlap and ex-pros, they jump on the bandwagon straight away. And it's mainly to get at the fan base, because they all know what we're like as fans. We kind of think that they're the best thing since sliced bread just because they're playing for Arsenal. Fact of the matter is, this guy's going to take time. It is going to take time. He's got to play to a system to suit Arteta, whereas Arteta should be playing a system to suit Gyokeres. And that's going to be the biggest problem with Gyokeres. And the longer it goes on, the more frustrating he's going to become. The goals won't come as what's expected. I mean, and he could find himself in a situation where he Havertz, when he's fit, goes in before him, and that would be an absolute disaster.
Is it not too late though? Is it how? Look, I don't know. I've never trained professionally with a professional, like a top Premier League football club. How long does it take to implement a system and get every player on the same wavelength?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I think he's ready.
It takes, a couple of months.
Christian, I've said this. I've said I think he's a proven goal scorer. I think we've just got to get creative. When we're, we've got to get more creativity in the team that suits Gyokeres, that he's going to find the chances to score goals. And we just haven't had that. We've only seen snippets of kind of, where he's had sort of half chances, the goal where he snatched it against Leeds. But the goal he scored against Leeds, he kind of made it himself, really. It was kind of a ball that was just knocked on and he picked it up. And he showed signs that's what he can do. He can make something out of nothing. But then do
you not think it might just be a change of personnel that might be the thing? Because I've been saying a lot, like games against Leeds at home, right? Burnley at home, even Forest at home, we're about to play them. We don't need 2 defensive-minded midfielders. We don't need Zubimendi and Declan Rice playing in those games.
I was just going to say.
Eze and Odegaard. Rice, Eze, Odegaard's the midfield. Have more creativity behind him.
I said this on Jezzy's stream earlier. I said, when we was debating who should start, Eze or Odegaard, and I said play them both.
Yeah,
we don't need a defensive lineup, and we're the home team. We're playing Nottingham Forest, that's just sacked their manager. We don't need to be that cautious. We can afford to play with just one holding midfield player. Our defensive is solid enough as it is. We can experiment by playing Odegaard and Eze in the same team. Even put Odegaard in the 8. Play Eze in the 10. Try something different. This is what he's got to try and do. For me, the manager's got to be more creative. And I've been saying this time and time again. Players are used to just playing one way. And they're used to just staying in that one position. And he's, for some reason or another, since he lost that kind of 8-point lead, he's kind of gone into his shell and he's playing more cautious, and he's got to open himself up. If he does that, then I'm sure Gyokeres will score goals. I'm with Dan. I don't think it's Gyokeres the player. I think it's more that the manager is not getting the best out of the team to be more creative, and that's what he's got to do. He has to do that. Otherwise, Gyokeres is going to be getting criticism after criticism after criticism. But yeah, everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon. As soon as it's Arsenal, everyone will jump on the bandwagon. They're happy just to stick the knife in. Of course they are. But a lot of our fan base is to blame for that, because we open ourselves up for that. We really do.
Igal's like jumping a bit to get in. So go on, Igal.
Yeah, I'm not.
I also feel like we don't help ourselves, because our own fan base is one of the first people to stick it on our own players. Where you look at Liverpool fans, they're so quick to protect their player. They're so quick to let them land. They're so quick to give them time. Where I feel like Arsenal fans are one of the first people who are quick to turn on their own signings and be the first person to be like, hey, this guy's not good enough, or this guy needs to get his act together. I think this is the first time where I've seen unanimous, everyone's like, it's only 3 games, let's be realistic. But other signings in the past, I've seen 3 games into that player, people are like, you know what, I don't know about this guy. Where Gyokeres, it seems like a lot of people are giving him time. A lot of people are understanding that it's only 3 games. The level of opponent also, I don't think gets spoken about enough. Manchester United away, Liverpool away for 2 out of your first 3 games is not really good enough sample size to judge an individual or a team, let alone understand that the whole gameplay or the whole style is going to change that quickly. As for Arsenal's creativity issues, I think Odegaard getting injured, Saka getting injured is a big issue, and that forced us into playing some of our squad players a lot earlier, and you're going to see people across the team getting used to it. For example, Liverpool, let's be honest, all 6 of us here probably wanted Eze to start away at Anfield. That would have meant the whole front 3 would have been a brand new front 3 with Eze, Gyokeres, and Nani Madueke. Surely we can all acknowledge that if you go and say you're going to change 3 out of your starting attackers from last season for the 3rd game of the season, you're not going to see the same level of consistency that you'd see from another team that has some players that played in that team for a long time and have the understanding and know how they play. And I just think a lot is spoken about the manager, but it's early in the season. A lot of these guys are getting used to how to play with each other, and you're not going to see the best performances from really anybody to start the season. It's always like this. Every year, there's teams that start off well, like Chelsea have started this season attacking wise. There's teams that take a while to get used to how they're playing and get their feet under them, like Man City are currently doing, Arsenal are currently doing, and then it just comes in time. Eventually, you're going to see things clicking into gear. And I'm not too concerned about Gyokeres. I'm not too concerned about creativity. I'm not too concerned about any of these things. I think we're going to see both Odegaard and Eze playing in the same team. But unfortunately for you guys, I don't think it's going to be in the midfield. I think Eze is going to play on the left, taking out Martinelli and Trossard out of the team and playing him on the left. But yeah,
what would your front 6 be against Nottingham Forest?
My midfield is going to be, I think our best midfield going into this game is, of course, playing Rice and Zubimendi, the Odegaard in the 10, and then the front 3 of Nani playing Gyokeres as striker and Eze on the left. And that's only because Saka's not available, right? The reason why I'm still going with Zubimendi and Rice, I think it gives us a safe platform to then push forward our fullbacks, and Declan Rice can stay back, and Zubimendi can kind of be like that quarterback type player who receives the ball and can recycle from each side of the pitch with his passing range. And Declan Rice can basically cover a lot of space defensively, and also can get forward in the attack. The issues and concerns I think people have with the play style early in the season is because you did not see the best 11 until the final preseason game. So you don't really know what the play style is going to be or how we really want to play. I don't think anybody really can say they know exactly how Arsenal is going to play with our best 11 because we have not seen it yet.
When are we going to see that, though, Igal?
I think we're going to most likely see it Nottingham Forest because, one, Eze just joined the club going into the Liverpool game, and maybe Arteta didn't want to throw him in that game without the proper training and without the proper assessment of how he can be utilized in that position.
Well, Saliba and Saka are going to be fit for Forest. We're going to get
something? Even without Saliba, Saka, without Havertz, without Ben White, I don't think any of us are phased. I think Andre Berta and the club have done a good job with the squad depth that we have. I don't think injuries are excuse versus Nottingham Forest, versus Man City, versus Newcastle, versus anybody. I don't want to hear injuries as an excuse this season from anybody. I think we have a good enough team where we cannot be concerned about injuries at this moment in time. And yeah, going back to the final point, the banter from rivals. Banter is the social media currency. People don't give a shit about the context. They will lie to try to get a laugh out of a club. I've seen people post stuff that is actually just made up by a random account, and then it eventually gets all the way down to Gary Neville and friggin' I even seen Gary Lineker quoting an incorrect stat of Gyokeres on his podcast just because he's seen so many people reposting it on social media. That Gyokeres only scores against bottom half of the table teams in Spain in Portugal. That's not even remotely true. If you look at it, how many goals he scored against the top half of the league, it's ridiculous. But guess what? Because something is recycled, jokes are now taken to a level where people are just laughing about lies. Twitter has turned into a cesspit where everyone just lies about bullshit. You can't take anything serious anymore when people are trying to banter. They just want to laugh about anything. And it's gotten to the point where Arsenal had 4 defeats last season. Yes, we had like 12 draws or however many draws we had, but people did not see too many times where we were down and about. People just want to see their rivals down. And Arsenal have the most hate because Manchester United, Spurs, Liverpool, Chelsea, all these guys have some reason to poke fun at us. And that main reason is because we have not won silverware recently. If we have won silverware, none of these guys would have a word to say to us. That's the reality. As much as I don't like the banter, we just have to hold it until we start winning. Because some of these teams, Spurs won a trophy recently, and they still poke fun at us about that. Man City won 4 league titles. We can't really talk shit to them. Liverpool won the league last year. We can't really talk shit to them. Chelsea won the Club World Cup, Conference League, and they won multiple league titles and Champions Leagues before we last won the league. So as much as I want to sit here and protect Arsenal from the banter, they deserve to make fun of us. And at this moment in time, the reality is they think we are Spurs in their eyes. Some of these clubs look at us like we're Spurs. Liverpool fans view us as beneath them. Manchester United fans even look down at us. It's actually pathetic how some of these guys view the size of club we are. These guys look at us that way. And what showed me that? The Chelsea protest. Did you guys see the sign that the guy was holding? His sign was, "We're not Arsenal." He didn't have, "We're not Spurs." He didn't have, "We're not somebody. We're not Fulham. We're not Arsenal." Yeah. What does that mean?
That's the point we've been making, Egal. This manager hasn't won anything. This is what's
it's not the manager, bro. It's not the manager.
He's in charge of the team.
This supersedes the manager.
Can I just ask you that?
This was before the manager was here.
Are you concerned about the creativity though? Because this ain't just about the 3 games. We've seen a lack of creativity, and we've seen a real downturn in the quality of play even last season. I know we only lost 4 games, but we drew a hell of a lot. But gaming on the whole, last season, I'm not going. I mean, you're going about like the last 3 games, but this has been going on for quite some time now. The lack of quality and the lack of creativity in this team has been quite evident now for quite some time. And he's still and what we was hoping for. I know you're saying it was a brand new front line, but at the end of the day, you've signed them players. You know what I mean? He's got to try and get more creative. I'm just worried of the lack of creativity from this football manager that he's dishing out on a regular basis. I'm worried about it.
If I may, I would say go back all the way to the PSV game, Arsenal versus PSV in the Champions League. Then you go to Arsenal.
Yeah, we had
versus,
moments. We had one-off
no.
games. I'm
Go
not.
to
I'm not
Arsenal
saying
versus Real Madrid. Arsenal versus
No.
Ipswich.
I'm saying we had one-off games, but there was still a lot of poor games. There was Everton at home. There, Leicester was quite bad at home. Southampton, West Ham, Brighton.
I think you could point out multiple games where you're.
I'm just looking at how we played. I'm looking at how we played sort of three seasons ago when we had that 8-point lead, and some of the football, a 3-4-3 system and that kind of football, and we was absolutely battering teams and really playing some good stuff. Since then, it's gone drastically downhill.
But can I acknowledge the main reason why we had the transfer window we had this season was because of the concerns of injuries, and when we did face a lot of injuries, we weren't able to play the same consistent level of attack that we wanted to play. There was a point where you just mentioned Leicester away last season. We went with a front three of Ethan, Trossard, and Sterling in a Premier League game, and we cannot expect the same level of consistency attacking wise in those kind of games with that kind of team. We had at some point in the season last season to end the season, which everyone keeps speaking about Arsenal last season. Last season we did not have a striker. Last season we did not have cover for Saka. Last season we did not have the level of squad depth we have this season, and the injuries that we had to the back end of last season crippled us to the point where we couldn't even play the attacking way that we wanted to. We were so poor. Against low blocks already. Imagine now having to do that with the likes of Sterling, Trossard, and Ethan Nwaneri. It was a miracle that we got Mikel Moreno to bag all the goals that he did at the end of the season last year. But on the grand scheme of things, I'm not necessarily too concerned about last season's form going into this year, because we now have a striker. We now have more creativity in Eberechi Eze. We now have an Odegaard who's fit and is available going to the next group of games. Hopefully Saka is going to be fit and available. And even if he's not, we now have the likes of Max Dowman and Nani who can chip in. I'm not too concerned about the creativity. I'm not too concerned about the attack, because we've improved our squad depth. We've added more creativity, and we have not had a sample size to
You're not concerned of the continuous lack of form of Martin Odegaard then?
Martin Odegaard has played 1.5 games, DJB.
Yeah, but he was poor last season again, wasn't
he? Yeah,
he?
last season he came off an injury, and off the back end of last season, DJB, if you actually look at it, the last 5 games he picked up form and he was really good. I think we're looking at the middle part of the season where the whole team was quite poor. I'm not. Everything is not doom and gloom. Sometimes we look at the negatives and we stick on that too much. I think if you look at it in a wider picture, things are headed in the right direction for Odegaard, and a lot of the attacking issues and concerns that we have. In time, you will see that it's early in the season growing pains, because some of these guys are also facing some of the toughest teams in the league in Liverpool away, and first game of the season is never good looking in the first place anyway.
We should be walking the Premiership and winning the Champions League at least then.
I never said that. Now we're going to extremes.
No, we should be, shouldn't we? Odegaard, I mean, all these players that we've got coming back.
But now, DJB, you're being. I don't even know what the word is. Somebody get me a dictionary.
Under this, I just
what
can't.
Are you doing?
I'm sorry, Gal. I wish honestly, I really want your optimism, and I'm backing the team, and I'm there every week. And I'm supporting the team.
But why does it have to be extremes?
But no, it's not the extremes. I'm just saying. What I'm trying to point out, there are concerns. That's what I'm saying. It's not a negative.
I'm telling you,
me pointing out concerns. Christian's pointed out concerns. Deal point out concerns. When you're pointing out concerns that you've witnessed over a long period of time, you have to bring it to light. Odegaard's, let's be honest, Odegaard's not been the player he has been for the 2 seasons now.
Odegaard right now is having one of the best games.
The team has lacked creativity. We've had more poor games over the last couple of seasons than we've had good games. We've had moments. We've had City, Real Madrid, PSV, give you all that. But
One second. Can I just check in?
There's been a lot of poor performances. There's been a lot.
Don't do it, man. I know what you're going to do.
Odegaard, 11-0, 11-1 right now.
They're playing against Moldova, man.
Yeah. But
11-1 for Norway right now, captaining his side to 11-1 win, their biggest ever win.
He's playing for Norway, Higel. When he plays for Arteta, he plays a different game. He plays a different system. He plays a different role. The team sets up differently. These players, this is what I'm saying. How can a player play like that for his country and then come to Arsenal under Arteta and play as if he's fallen
got
off?
5. Haaland's got 5 tonight.
Obviously, Liverpool is not the same as facing Moldova.
I'm just picking out concerns of a lot of Arsenal fans, Higel. I'm not piling in. I'm just picking out what I've been seeing and witnessing. And it's not the same Arsenal team that I saw, 3-4 seasons ago. It's a completely different outlook. And what worries me is that we've signed all these players, and if the manager don't change the way he plays and he doesn't get brave enough and his in-game management is not improved, these players like Eze, like Gyokeres, they're all going to end up looking like Martinelli and people like that within games, and they will be open to criticism. And that's my worry. That is my worry.
Can I bring D and Kenny in just quickly? Because
can I just respond to one thing before we go on? I don't think it's all doom and gloom, and we need to be concerned about the creativity and Gyokeres simply because it's been 3 games. We have not seen some of these guys who we've signed even play in the team yet. And obviously, you're going to have a tough time against Liverpool away. Obviously, your first game of the season is never going to be looking pretty. And the one game that we did play well, nobody wants to even consider looking at that as a sample size because it's against Leeds. So if these concerns are still happening 10 games in, DJB, I'll say there's cause for concern. But at this moment in time, I think it's too small of a sample size. Same way, I'm not sitting here after 3 games saying Calafiori is the best left back in the world.
Let me bring D and Kenny in. D, what are you saying about Gyokeres, creativity? Do you have serious issues? Because, I do. I can't lie to you. I do. And I put more of the blame. Igal don't like this, but I put more of the blame on Arteta than I do on the individual players.
I'm the complete opposite of most people on the panel when it comes to Gyokeres and how he's playing. I don't see a problem one little bit. I'm yet to see a problem with it. Well, if this is a bad performance and he's got 2 goals in 3 games, I'll take that all day long. I'm not really too worried. Gyokeres is not, but he's not here for anything else apart from his goal scoring record. So the only way we can judge Gyokeres is after a certain amount of games and goals. That's the only reason why we're judging Gyokeres. We're not judging Gyokeres on anything else apart from his goals. I don't care whether he scores in 1 game, 2 games, penalty. I'm not really that bothered. We're only judging him purely on his goals to game ratio. That's it. Everything else is what people are going to say. They're going to talk about banter. They're going to talk about creativity and this and that, and he didn't play against. What we've got to do, if I was to judge Gyokeres and I was to say he's playing badly, I will judge it based on if I think there's some chances that he should have scored that he's missed. And there hasn't been any chances that he's had that I think he should have scored that he's missed, because there hasn't been any chances for him. The only chances he's had, a couple were in the Leeds game. Apart from Man United and Liverpool, there was not one chance that I think he should have done better at. Everyone's basically judging Gyokeres based on how many chances we've created for him and potentially little bits of hold-up play and stuff like that. But apart from that, there's not really anything to judge him on. I'm judging him purely based on goals to games ratio, and that is it. Nothing more, nothing less. That is what he's being judged on, and that's it. If it comes to the point where he's got 1 in 7, then I'll start judging him. If he's got 6 in 7, I could not care less how he plays. I'm being deadly serious. People think they're over-analysing what his job is. His job, I was a striker. If I score, I've done my job. That's it.
Well, look, let me bring this up because this is very interesting, Kenny. Apparently tonight, Dan, why is Odegaard playing through balls to Haaland but being more defensive at Arsenal? I literally just saw that comment flick up. I haven't watched the game, by the way, and I appreciate it's Moldova. But, if a gal wants to say that Odegaard's been great tonight, I haven't watched the game, but if he's doing well and he's proved us all wrong that he can score goals and he can provide 11 goals to people, why is he being allowed to express himself for Norway but not at Arsenal, Kenny?
It's Moldova, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's Moldova. It was a game. It was a game where you were going to win it. It wasn't a case of how whether you're going to win is by how many goals, you know. And that's the thing, you know, he's got a freedom when he plays for the country. Look, club football's different from international football. You know, we don't play many Moldovas in the Premier League at all. You know what I mean? The only Moldova we're probably going to play is probably the Moldova we played against Leeds. Promoted Leeds, probably relegation fodder. But apart from that, look, Odegaard hasn't had a good season. He didn't have a good season last season. He was injured only for 7 games. When he came back, he wasn't himself. I think there's little credit in the bank, you know, because of how badly he played. You know, 22-23 was brilliant. 23-24, I thought he was just as good, but he's taken a massive drop off. So we've got to expect good things for him, because if Arsenal want to win the league, players got to turn up. You know, Odegaard's got to turn up this season. Saka's got to be brilliant. You know, this season Saka's our best player. Odegaard's the creator, and then at defence you can rely on them. Declan Rice has got to be fully fit to play well, and it's a team thing. But that's where we're going to win the league. But even then, those guys turned up in 23-24. We didn't win the league because one game against Aston Villa, Man City were just like robots. They're consistent, so it may not always work out. In terms of like the Victor Gyokeres thing, well, I said it on previous shows. He's got to hit the ground running. You know, either through acclimatising to the way we play, or we change the way we play. Either way, he's got to hit the go running, because at the end of the day, we're looking over our shoulder what Liverpool are doing, and last season showed that if we can't match Liverpool, even in the early games, then they'll just run away from us. So we can't afford that to happen, because they've got the personnel now where they're playing a bit differently. They've freshened up their defence. They've got Isak now. Every game's a cup final now. The season started. The league titles started at Old Trafford at 4:30. There's no settling in period for any player, not for the manager, and not for Gyokeres. So he's got to get himself fit, but hit the ground running. But it's not just Gyokeres getting the goals. We need goals from other players as well. Havertz is a big miss. Not my favourite player as such, but just having that option of him come off the bench, we're going to miss that. Jesus as well, not, shining, being a shining light for us. But, Victor's under pressure because, let's face it, he's the only goal scorer who got at the club. So something's got to give, starting at Nottingham Forest. He's got to find his foot. Either he gets with it and, gets in tune with the way we play, or Mick Arteta changed things and just said, let's get on the front foot. They've just sacked their manager. They haven't got Elanga on a counter-attack his pace. Maybe we can be on the front foot. Let's see what we can do. The players are there now for Mick Arteta to tweak it. It depends on him, and depends on whether he can get over that mental block of 22-23.
Let me ask a quick question about Martin Odegaard very quickly. He's had a haircut now, so he's obviously going to bang. So everyone keeps talking about, have you seen his hair? Oh, his hair's brilliant. What? Geezer went to the barbers. Chill out. Like, let's see what he's about. Let's see what he can do. He has responded, Christian, to Tony Adams' comments. And I thought he was going to respond by saying Tony Adams is an arsehole. What does he care about? He's not a legend of the club. He isn't welcome near me again, because that's what all the Arsenal fans. That's what all the Arsenal fans have said. But Odegaard actually replied in quite a cool way, I thought, and said, "I don't care that much, to be honest. Everyone can have their opinion and say what they want. I'm all right with it. I can't care about what everyone says. There's a lot of negative and positive things to say, but I can't let it affect me. That's what I've thought throughout my career." I was saying to Igal earlier on his show, I'm struggling with this one, because I appreciate what Igal said about him only really having a couple of games so far. I've tried to do my best to defend him, and I'm really struggling. With Odegaard, mate, and I need to see him improve.
Yeah, we definitely need to see him improve. I've backed the guy a lot. I obviously really believed in him as a player. I think 22, 23, 23, 24, he was consistently in our top 3 performers every single game. He looked like a captain. There were times he I don't want to say put the team on his back, because he's not that kind of player necessarily, but he would lead by example. His press, just every time he got the ball, he would look to create. He'd look to turn forward. His first touch was immaculate. You know, he was playing in behind. Like, this was when the Martin Odegaard's scoop was a welcome sight. Now, when I see that scoop from Odegaard, I'm like, what are you doing with that scoop? Like, the scoop doesn't work anymore. He's lost the scoop, you know. I feel like Odegaard in the past year and a half, he used to be a guy like a Santi Cazorla, like you could just give him the ball, half a second, he's turned, he's picking a pass, he's got his head up. Now he needs that half a second or that second more. And it's just that tiny bit of sharpness, which I think can take you from being like a real top elite player to being an average player in the Premier League. Like, it's that, the margins are that fine. Everyone this is the Premier League. It's the best league in the world, right? Every one of these players are a top professional. They've all made it through academies and been scouted and been sold and here and there. They're all in the Premier League for a reason. The margins are so much finer than people realize. The margin between being an average Premier League player and a top Premier League player are so small. And it is literally half a second on the ball. Decision making. You're playing a through ball to the perfect inch rather than overhitting it or underhitting it. Like, positions you pick up on the pitch. Like, it's so fine. And I think that injury last season, people want to talk about him having a kid, cool. But that injury, especially to his strong foot, I think has just taken a half a yard from him. And Ego, I disagree with you, man. I haven't seen it. I didn't see it towards the end of last season. He scored. He didn't even score. Did he score a goal from outside the box, or he hit the post maybe against Ipswich? He was shooting a little bit more, and I was like, okay, this is what we want. We want to see him shooting. But against PSG over 2 legs, I thought he was probably our worst player. Which is that was the business end of the season where it mattered, where we needed our captain. In pre-season, I didn't really see it. United game, didn't see him. I don't remember him doing anything. I know people have spoken about him being one of our better players. It wasn't really for me. There were times we were transitioning and he needed to play the ball earlier and he didn't. Against Leeds, he got injured early and came off. So obviously we didn't see him there. And he came on against Liverpool and did nothing. So I haven't necessarily seen it. I don't know.
Can I remind you?
Have you seen it? When have you seen a moment from him where he's back to his best or near his best again? Because I haven't.
He didn't play well against the win against Chelsea to end the season when we were playing against the likes of Southampton, Newcastle. He didn't play well.
He scored a goal against Southampton away last game of the season. That was about it.
He got an assist versus Newcastle. He also got a goal contribution versus Chelsea in the 1-0 win. From the back end, I think
he wasn't the Odegaard that we knew.
No, I'm not sitting here saying he was the best player on the pitch every single game, but I think Odegaard from March time onwards was a lot better. And I think he was a lot more creative. He was getting on the ball a lot more. He was crucial versus Real Madrid. As much as people think he wasn't that effective, he was crucial in setting up Saka's goal and helping get the ball to Moreno, keep the ball ticking in some of those games.
Straws there, man.
No, I'm not.
Listen, Odegaard's been rubbish. Listen. We've got some time here.
One second. You can call Odegaard rubbish, but I think
listen. He's been terrible for a year and a half. It's very simple. We don't have to
overdoing it.
No, we're not overdoing it. We're not overdoing it. Wait. What we're doing?
The guy ended the season off well.
No, not everything needs an explanation.
No, but bro, he ended the season off well.
Not everything needs an over-analysis and a super explanation. He's playing terribly. It's as simple as that. He's not playing well.
7-7 is terrible.
Listen, Arteta has got 3 hills that he will die on. Yeah, that his Arsenal career will live or die by. 1 is Martinelli, 2 is Havertz, 3 is Odegaard. Odegaard is our captain.
2 of those guys have been replaced.
Odegaard, what do you mean 2 of the guys have been replaced? They're part of
Havertz has been replaced with Gyokeres. Eze is going to replace Martinelli.
Bro, they're part of our squad. So the fact of the matter is, you keep saying they've been replaced. Martinelli started at Anfield, so stop saying he's been replaced. He hasn't been replaced.
He just came in through the door. What are you talking about?
Listen. Martinelli has not been replaced yet until it's actually happened. As we're talking right now, Martinelli started against Anfield. What are you talking about?
Okay.
As we're talking about right now, today, Martinelli is our starting left winger until it changes. It hasn't changed yet. So
do you honestly believe Martinelli's still going to start on?
I thought Eze was going to start at Anfield and he didn't start.
Who knows? Do you honestly know?
Martinelli started.
You said Eze would start.
No one else thought Martinelli was going to start, and he started him.
No, I
So
don't
you
think
can't, you
Martinelli's
can't keep,
starting
you keep,
anymore. I
but
think
you
Eze's
keep
gonna be
talking.
starting.
But what I'm saying is, we can, me and you are both naturally Arteta-ins, but we don't have to. You can criticize him and still be Arteta-in. I'm saying at Anfield, Eze should have started. So you're saying Martinelli's gonna, yeah, he's been replaced. How has he been replaced if he's playing 70 minutes of the game? How's he been replaced?
He
Where's the
didn't start.
replacement?
Whoop-de-doo. He didn't start versus Liverpool. But
Stop
guess
talking
what?
about what.
Who came on for Martinelli?
Bro, stop talking about what you think he's gonna do and talk about what
No,
he's
no, no,
actually
no.
done.
I'm asking you a question. Who
No,
came on for
I'm telling
Martinelli?
you. I'm telling you. Stop talking about what you think he's gonna do. And
I'm not
actually
telling you what I
he's done.
think. I'm telling you a fact. Who came on for Martinelli?
It doesn't matter. Why did he start?
He didn't start because the manager didn't want to start him. But who came on for Martinelli?
No, why did Martinelli start?
Who came on for Martinelli, bro?
Answer my question.
I'm answering your goddamn question. Who came on for Martinelli?
You're not. You're asking me a question with a question. I'm asking you,
No,
why did he
I'm
start?
answering the question because the player who came on for Martinelli is the guy who's going to replace him. Same
How
way.
do you know? You don't know this. It
Same
hasn't
way.
happened yet.
We've seen this numerous times under Arteta. We've seen this numerous times under Arteta. He does not go and right away start the player. He eases them in, brings them on, and the next thing you know, eventually that player comes and starts getting game time.
Again, listen.
Why does Eze need easing in? I don't understand it.
What you're doing, yeah, is you're saying something about someone else that hasn't happened. So what you're doing is basically you're trying to talk in the future for no reason. We all know that Eze was playing and he came to the club and he was ready to start Anfield. We had the whole speech. That was the perfect moment to play him, because if we're gonna we had the feel-good factor. We had the video that we all loved. He came out at the Emirates the week before. It was like, you know what? Unleash this guy. It's a time to unleash him. This is the perfect moment. And you kept him on the bench and we ended up losing the game. So you can't say, oh, the guy that's going to replace him when he hasn't been replaced. When he gets replaced, then you can say that. You can't say it yet. So I don't know why you keep saying it as if to say it's so obvious that it's going to happen. Like, if Havertz is fit, do you think Gyokeres plays every game?
No, but we can all agree that Gyokeres has replaced Havertz's position.
We can't agree that because we don't know.
Why can't we? We've fully seen him start over him.
Havertz is injured.
Bro, even when Havertz was fit for the first game of the season, who started?
Bro, that is not the point. The point I'm making to you is you cannot understand. You do not know what's going to happen because of Arteta, because he does things that we
Nobody knows what's going to happen.
That's my
Nobody
point.
knows what's going to happen even with Pep or any manager. But I'm simply saying it's pretty obvious who the starter is at striker. And I'm pretty sure we can all admit, based on the signing of Eze and where he came in when he first walked into the building versus Liverpool, he subbed in for Martinelli. I expect him to sub in for Martinelli and that be his position.
All right,
that's what we all thought. That's what we all thought at Anfield, bro.
If you're saying Havertz has been replaced, Martinelli's been replaced, do you think Odegaard's position is under threat? Do you think
no? Odegaard's still the starter. Odegaard's still the captain. Odegaard's still the right-sided 8, or whatever you guys want to call him.
He deserves that, does he?
Don't you think that's the problem, though? Sorry, D. Don't you think if the manager is being too stubborn and not have the balls to drop his captain because he's playing bad, do you think he's not being brave enough, and he's putting the team in jeopardy by not doing this? Because you got Wanyeri sitting on a bench as well. He got man of the match for the under-21s the other night, by the way.
He didn't play.
So why ain't this kid getting a shout? Why ain't Wanyeri stepping up? Why can't you play Wanyeri in the 10?
I would have started Wanyeri at Anfield.
Exactly. I would have done, Christian. But what I'm trying to say is this is what the fans now are actually asking the questions. Why is this manager set in his ways and frightened to change things when he can see in front of his eyes that it's not working and players are out of form, and yet he's still starting them? And I don't care if he's the captain. He's been crap. Let's be honest. He's been absolutely horrendous.
Odegaard's been terrible for over a year.
Exactly, D. But what is the manager trying to prove by keep playing these players when there's players ready to go on the bench?
Do you know what it is? DJ? Yeah, he has to, like, because Odegaard, when he doesn't play, when he doesn't play, we struggle to cut open teams and to have that a link between the front and the back. We do struggle without Odegaard. So I understand why the manager is trying to play him into form. I understand that. That makes sense to me. But the problem is that it's how long do you try to get him into form for? That's the conversation you have. And I think Odegaard is at the point now where it's been a good year and a bit. Now you're going to have to start saying, you know what, not only that, you're also our captain. It gets to the point where you feel you're now in danger zone. I don't think he's quite replaceable just yet, but he's definitely in danger zone. Martinelli, he's finished. He's out of danger zone. He, to me, is in bankruptcy. He needs to go in bankruptcy. That's where he is. Odegaard is in red danger zone, flashing red lights. That's
what I'm saying. But when you got players like you got Dowman coming on, making things happen. You got Wanyeri that can make things happen. Change it up a bit. It needs freshening up. We're way too predictable. We're way too predictable for other teams now. Other coaches already. Ange Postecoglou will set up Nottingham Forest, and he ain't even been watching football since he's been sacked from Spurs, right? He will know exactly how Arteta's going to play on Saturday.
1 second.
He will know exactly how to set up against Arteta.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing that. None of us know how we're going to play. That's the fact.
He will know how Arteta.
No. The reality situation is
it goes right. So then, why did you say
none of us know how we're going to play because we've not seen this personnel?
No. I'm not saying, but they'll have a good chance. This is what I'm saying. He's been too predictable for too long now, and this is what I'm saying. He's got to start taking risks. If we're going to win major honours, he's got to say, right, this I've given Odegaard enough time. It's time now. I've got to change it up. Play Wanyeri, play Eze, get them on now, get attacking, and let's open teams up.
Let me ask you guys a quick question. We've got the tools to do it.
We've got the tools to do it. I don't know why he's holding back.
Two of our biggest wins. Forget about biggest wins. Highest score lines last season: PSV away and Man City at home, and of course the game versus what do you call it? Real Madrid.
Sporting as
well. All those games post-March. You guys are telling me Odegaard had a poor end to the season. My point was he got injured. When he came back, he did not look his best every single game. I'll give you that.
He looked brilliant up until he got injured, though.
Come on,
no, he wasn't.
Odegaard has been terrible
1 second.
over a year, bro.
Please listen.
Even before the injury.
Please listen to what I'm saying. I don't disagree with you guys that Odegaard did not have a great season. I don't disagree with you guys that Odegaard has been poor. I'm just simply saying from March when he came back from injury and he was starting to pick up form, I think he ended off the season well.
When the pressure was off and there was
I think he ended off the season well. And if
when
you look
the
at
pressure was off and there was nothing to play for, Odegaard.
There was something to play for versus PSV. There was something to play for versus Real Madrid. There was something to play for versus PSG. Don't act like he had poor performances.
Are you saying he's been good or bad? Are you saying he's been good then, or what are you saying exactly?
I'm saying we're sitting here talking about Martin Odegaard having a poor season and conflating it with him having a complete terrible season the whole season wide. I thought he ended off the season well.
He's had good games. He's a football player. He's going to have good games. But overall, he's been terrible, bro. I don't know what you're saying. He's had good games. He had a good game.
He's the captain of Arsenal Football Club, Egal.
Men
like Patrick Vieira and Tony Adams, we're getting 8 9s out of 10 every game.
I'm not even sure he's had good games.
You know what I mean?
That moment.
Bro, you're telling me PSV away wasn't a good game.
You're going on about PSV. You're talking about
wait, 1 sec. The PSG second leg, he was good. Real Madrid first leg, I think he was good, but I don't understand. As a period of time, over consistently, he's been terrible, bro. And not only has he been terrible, one sec. Not only has he been terrible, he's actually been worse than terrible over. So if you was to give him a rating for the last year and a half, because we need our captain to be between 7 and 10, overall. What would you give Odegaard for the last year and a half as an overall rating?
That's a good question.
Last year, I'll give him a
whole year and a half. For the last year and a half, what would you give him overall?
From what time to what time? Starting when?
Give him all last year, whole season.
Start of last season.
What would you give him overall?
Average 5 or 6.
Average? Do you think that's good?
No, I'm saying the back end of the season, he was good.
But that doesn't matter if you overall give him a 5.
No, because I'm judging him at a higher standard.
Do you think he had a good preseason?
I'm judging him at a high standard.
You're saying a captain of Arsenal football team is a 5 out of 10.
He's a 5 out of 10 for a whole season,
guys,
bro.
Understand, I am not sitting here saying Odegaard had a good season. I actually agree with you guys. I'm just simply saying when we talk about Odegaard having poor form last season, I think he ended off the season well enough to say that, you know what, he was getting better and he's getting over his injuries. I thought come March time onwards, I thought he was one of our more important players.
All right, we're not gonna agree on this, right? So let me move on this one. I think what we're saying as a panel is that Odegaard's got to pick it up, and I actually think Igal agrees with that. I think what Igal's saying is he didn't think he was quite as bad at the back end. We all didn't really see much of it. We're not going to agree on that one, so I'm going to ask to move, right? I'm going to actually move for a couple of super chats, and I'm going to come to Kenny. Big up to everyone that's here. Big up to Lee for the raid as well. Absolute legend. Thank you so much for that, mate. We've got 2,229 people in here. Please make sure you do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you're following every single one of these guys as well. These are the following super chats I'd like to read out before we go to the next topic. Farhan says, remember, this is the Premier League. It's not an easy league, and I'm sure we'll see what kind of striker we have in the Champions League. I actually think that's a good point because Gyokeres was doing very well in the Champions League last season as well as domestically. Jim Ross is a new member and he's gifted a membership. Thank you so much, bro. Really, really appreciate that. Big up to you. Igal's fond of making up lies himself. Listen, we all have our opinions, man.
What did I lie about? Tell me.
Exactly. I'd love to know what you're supposed to lie about as well. Farhan said, let's wait at least first 10 games of the league season. Yep, I think that's fair as well. We'll see where we're at. And Guna C says, Canadian Michael Jackson, what are you doing here? Is that for you, Igal? Canadian Michael Jackson. Is that what they pick? Is that what they call you now?
Have you heard that before? Have you heard that before?
Do I have a Michael Jackson voice? What is this?
I don't know. If I'm honest, I don't know either. Miles Smith said, don't do that, then they will definitely come for you. Odegaard's playing out of position. He's an 8. Ethan or Ezra should be our creative outlet.
Once again, we don't actually play with a 10 though.
Yeah, he's playing in the 8, so there's no excuse for
we don't play in a 10.
I do think there's potential for Odegaard to drop a bit deeper, but that's just my opinion. Kenny, talking of dropping deeper and finding places or spaces for players, Mikel Merino, hat-trick against Spain, very good finisher. And if I'm honest with you, I quite like what I see in front of goal from Merino. I'd love to say I enjoy what I see in midfield from him. However, I don't. And I had a bit of a light bulb moment with Igal earlier. Maybe Arteta, with light bulbs, he's having an effect on me. But I did have a bit of a light bulb moment with Igal, and we kind of both sat in silence for just a few seconds and thought, wow, I think I know what he's trying to do with Mikel Merino. I really do. I can understand it. I think I get it now. And the reason I'm putting this picture up is because he played with him in Cahill, and I kind of get it now. I think that's what he's trying to do and what he's trying to do against Liverpool, man.
Nah, look, Mikel Merino's a better player than that. There's no doubt about it. He's better on the ball than that. He's got his strengths. He's good in the air. He's good at making his runs in the box. But for Mikel Merino, how can you play badly in that Spain team? How can you not score goals in that Spain team? They're probably the best team I've seen for years, and they're just as good as a team that dominated world football from about 2008 to 2012. They're playing us kind of the same way, where you can't mark Spain because they just move the ball so quickly, and you've got to move with the ball, and they just find space is just not there. So of course he's going to look great in the space side, But in terms of like what he can do for Arsenal, well, come off the bench. That's his best position. Don't get him wrong. He won't let it stand if there's an emergency. Gyokeres, we could go down that road again, but that was always a temporary measure. His best position is, just in midfield, that kind of, attacking midfield kind of thing. But yeah, playing like bit Fellaini, I can see it, but I think he's a bit better on ball than Fellaini and a much better player than he's given credit for. You don't get in a Spain team, if you're like a Marouane Fellaini, who basically was a good player, did well for Belgium. He had a good career at Everton, Man United, probably a big club for him. But yeah, Merino for me, best come off the bench. If there's any with Havertz out, we don't know how long he's going to be out for. Yeah, that could be our go-to person because we don't know what's happening with Jesus. We don't know when he's going to be back. So yeah, but Marouane Fellaini, nah, I don't think so. I think he's a bit better than that.
He is a perfect super sub, isn't he? I like Mourinho. I think he's a good player. I think he's got a lot to offer. What's interesting, Kenny, you're saying about players, how can you not look good in that Spain team? 2 out of their front 6 are Arsenal players. Martin Zubimendi and Mikel
Oh,
Merino.
yeah, of course, yeah. But the thing is that they've been in that part of that team as well. They were the team that won the Euros as well. But the one thing about Spain that you've got to admire is doesn't matter what stage the game is, they play the same way and they probe and probe and probe and they stay true to themselves. You've got to respect it. You've got to respect it because it's not always going to work. I think for as much as I was an England fan, I was winning England on, desperate for a win. Part of me was actually pleased that Spain won the Euros because that's how football should be played. On the floor, trying to probe, no long ball, none of this nonsense, just football, pressure, football, but educated pressure. That's why whenever there's a tournament, I always, say, right, I'm going to go for Spain. They should have won the Euros in 2020 instead of Italy because, sorry, Italian fans, I love you a lot, but bloody hell, how Italy won the Euros in 2020. I'm still scratching my head how they got away with it. I don't know how they've done it.
Mourinho played midfield that game, though. That's the thing. That's the thing that people are not realizing. A lot of people are saying it like he was playing up front. He was actually playing midfield in the same position.
What do you think his position is, D? What do you think his
He
position
was
is?
playing in the 10.
And he was playing as a 10 for Arsenal against Liverpool. His position, Mourinho, is a seriously... All of a sudden, he becomes a valuable squad player because he can play in so many different positions. All of a sudden, it's now... I don't know, like he can play in the... Because I don't actually think he played that badly at Anfield. I just think we just wanted a more attacking player. He didn't actually play that badly. He actually, most of the time, actually doesn't play that badly for us. It's just the fact that we just want a more attacking player when he's playing. But he doesn't... He actually
I think he's more of a second striker, D.
D, you know what
I don't think he's more of a second striker. I just think
playoff striker. Sorry,
he's very good there. I just think he's very good there, and I don't think I think he is actually a natural 8, but I just think he's just good. He's just such a clever player that he can kind of play. He gets a bit more space and he doesn't have to use his attributes as much when he's in the 10 or in the second striker role because he's only got one line of defense there, so we can kind of use his brain a bit more.
I don't think he covers ground quick enough to be an 8, which I think is why there's confusion about what kind of player he is.
Yeah,
someone as an 8, like putting Declan Rice in the 8, he can be box to box in.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Yaya Toure, a box to box kind of player. You can be box to box in how quickly they can be box to box. Mikel Merino, when he's there, going forward, I think he's tidy. His first touch is good. He can play balls in behind. He can make those runs. But when the ball turns over against a big team like a Liverpool or whoever, and the game's a bit more open, I question his legs going back. So for me, he's not a defensive midfielder. He's not a 6. He's not someone that's just going to sit and do the defensive work. He doesn't have the legs to play as an 8 because he can't get up and down quick enough. So then I have to say, he's a more attacking midfielder.
But I do think,
sorry,
Arteta would have got rid of. He wouldn't have bought Havertz if he had bought Mourinho earlier because he doesn't actually need Havertz anymore because of Mourinho.
No. I'd rather see Mourinho start up front than Kai Havertz.
Facts.
How about this, guys? Arteta's the problem in this situation.
Is that where you are? Yeah, is that where you are? Mourinho.
I think Arteta's tactics are the problem in this situation, guys. And you guys always say I don't criticize the manager, so listen to this. I think Arteta plays the right-sided. He played Mikel Merino too much to one side, didn't give him the freedom to drift in the middle. And so the way that we played with our midfield, you have Rice pretty much on the left side, you have Moreno pretty much on the right side. And the best work that he was doing for Spain was he was able to drift up and down the middle and go whichever way he wanted to receive the ball more central. Where when we're playing with Moreno or Odegaard or whoever we're playing with in that attacking 10/right 8 position, they're so cooped up on the right-hand side, it doesn't give them the freedom to do what he did for Spain. In those 2 games for Spain, he had so much freedom in the middle of the park that he could shoot from distance, he can crash into the box, he can get back, defend, run forward with the ball, without the ball, and there's just so much more space. It opens up passing lanes.
Have you changed your mind now, Igal?
Do you think that
I'm not saying the manager can't fix this. I just think the way we should solve it is actually go with a double pivot of Rice and Zubimendi and play with a 10 that can drift either way, because Odegaard, what opened my eyes was when we were having the argument with DJB and Aaron, where Odegaard's heat map for the whole season was like he was a right winger. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. I think Marino's best position is more central in an attacking role. I think he can play just behind Gyokeres in that space there.
Yep,
Bit
that's
like
what
Bergkamp used to with Henry. I mean, he used to like, and that's sort of Marino's sort of position, more central, further forward, just behind Gyokeres, just playing in that hole there between the midfield and the strikers. And I think that's where he can cause a lot of danger. But it's true what Egal says. But then again, who does it come down to? Because when he's playing for Arsenal, he's too defence minded. Everything's defence minded. Everything's too cautious.
I don't think it's defensive. I think what you said earlier is more realistic. It's predictable because you now have so many players on one side of the pitch.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, if you give him a more central role and give him that freedom to operate, just sort of not even worry about defensive duties, because you got Rice and all that to do that. You could just put Marino in that hole, just behind Gyokeres, and just give him a bit more freedom. Definitely.
The only problem with that is if that is his position, then he's never going to get minutes.
No, exactly. That's what I was just going to say. That where
Odegaard's going to be first choice. Nwaneri is going to be second choice in that role. Then you're going to want Eze in there, or Eze might be second choice. Then you want Nwaneri.
I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean? Like, Mikel Marino will be fourth choice if that's where he's going to play.
So, but that's what you said, Christian, earlier, wasn't it?
Marino allows us to have the tactical flexibility where we can play a 4-4-2, where we can play another midfielder that can box crash and get goals. That also, I disagree with you, Christian. He's one of the best at winning duels. Defensively, he has the work rate. He can get in the right positions. Maybe he's not as fast as Declan Rice. Recovery pace is maybe what you're speaking about.
So you're talking about before he came to Arsenal, though. You're talking about La Liga. His dual winning ability in La Liga. Yes, I haven't seen it in the Premier League. And if you look at stats in the Premier League, he hasn't been a serial dual winner. I haven't watched him Arsenal like, this guy is physical. This guy wins the ball back. I haven't seen that in the Premier.
But that's because he's been playing as a forward for us.
Exactly. Yeah. But until I see it,
he was playing in a midfield.
I can't say that he's a dual winner. He's a destroyer. He hasn't been that kind of player for us.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, that we're talking about Marino in this way because he's done a couple of things, but he ain't actually that good. Like this is the fact of it. He's not that good. Like
he's just a useful squad player, and he's various positions. He's useful for us, but then so's Kai as well. Kai can play various positions, and players like Kai and Marino, the manager sees them as tactically important, and the horses for courses guys, whether we like it or not. The fact that he played against Liverpool was just basically proves the point I just made, that he saw him as tactically important. He thought, right, the way I wanted to play at Anfield, the way I wanted to set up, I needed this guy in that team. I didn't need Eze in that number 10. I needed this guy in order to enable us to keep the shape, do his defensive work, make things difficult at Liverpool, which we did in the first half. But in the second half, Liverpool getting amongst us. They upped the tempo, they pressed, they started winning the second balls, and they got themselves in a position where they were on the front foot and we couldn't cope with it. But for that first half, that Marino, that midfield, it worked because of the way he wants to play. And that's what Marino is going to be to us. He's going to be, someone who's going to be seen as tactically important. He's going to be a horses for courses guy. And sometimes you need that.
That's what I'm saying, Kenny. He's a good. I disagree with you, D. I think he is a good player. I think the reason a lot of fans don't necessarily see it or speak about him as a top player or a good player is because he's not like particularly good at one thing. I think Jamie Carragher was talking. Was it about Sancho or someone about? And I agree with this, and I've said this before about players that have their thing. Do you know what I mean? Like you look at Martinelli, and he was known for his pace. You look at Saka, he's known for cutting in on his left and that finish. Gyokeres, maybe the physicality, holding the ball up, running the channels like these, and he's finishing. Whereas Marino is kind of a 7.5 out of 10 at most things. He's not particularly physical. He's not particularly great. Maybe in the air, he's decent, like heading towards goal. But in terms of like winning duels, I know you said winning duels, but that was, like I said, that was at Sociedad. I haven't really seen him as that battler and that destroyer and that duel winner at Arsenal. He's kind of just above average at everything, which is a consistent player, which you need as a squad player. But I do think he's good. He starts for Spain. You're not shit if you start for Spain.
He ain't that good though, is he? You know what I mean?
Let me ask you guys a question.
He ain't that good, is he? He's like a. How much better is he than like how good Edu was, or is he like he's like our version of El Neni, isn't he? He's not that.
Edu was a top player.
I think Mikel Moreno is
a top player.
Mikel Moreno is a squad player, and the fact that we're having this much conversation about a squad player shows you that we believe the manager or the team is not utilizing to his best of his ability, and he's a better player than what we've seen at Liverpool. Do you guys agree with that?
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's more about the fact that we don't know what to do with him because he's not. Like, because he scores goals, all of a sudden we're putting him in attacking positions, but he's not an attacking player. Now, if we were to go to, let's imagine we all went to, say, PSG away next year.
I think he's box to box.
No, but let's have an example. Like, we went to PSG away next year, and he was playing in either the 10 or the striker role. We would all think we're underdogs for the game. If we play Man City and he's playing in the 10 or the striker role, none of us think with him in an attacking role we're going to likely win the game. So that's the point.
I do agree.
But look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, squad player.
The Serie A player of the season. The Serie A player of the season, Scott McTominay, for example. We can utilize him in a similar role like that. Somebody who's a box to box that can box crash, get goals, or
who's coming out though, Gal? Who are you dropping?
Obviously, he's not as good as Gundogan creatively, but similar to how Gundogan was a goal scorer for Man City from deep. You could utilize him like that also. I think he'll be
who we dropping though, Gal? That's one point. Who are you saying start?
Who am I dropping? Honestly,
he has to play to score.
I think him and Zubimendi could play together if anything ever happens to Rice. Or listen, 1 second. Before I even get my word across, D, you're jumping in, cutting me off, making silly faces, trying to make me lose my train of thought. My point is horses for courses. If there's a game where we need more creativity and we need a goal, we can throw him in for either Zubimendi or Rice. He doesn't have to play every game. He doesn't have to start every game. It's just he's another option. My main thing is though, who are the key players who are going to have the most touches in the final third? And I want the most touches in the final third being touched by Bukayo Saka, Eze, Gyokeres, and Odegaard. I don't really want Zubimendi, Rice, or Moreno being the guys who are getting the final actions for our Arsenal team. Even though he's a good finisher, I think the best players in this team creatively and the best players who are the best attacking players should be on the pitch together. And we need to find a way to have Eze, Saka, Gyokeres, and Odegaard to be the front four, and let Zubimendi and Rice and whoever else is going to be the deep line players stay back and let those four cook. Because I think we
finished. Not yet.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm done, bro. Go ahead.
No, because what I'm saying, when you say you're cutting in, your points are so long, so it's hard to actually hear what the point, because you're making two different.
I've turned into Liga now. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Little rivalry.
I know you're streaming with him way too much. What I'm saying is, when it comes to the actual point, you said Zubimendi. You can play Zubimendi with Marino, which means Marino is playing in the 8, which is deeper, further back. So if you're playing the 8, you're not playing in the 10. We're talking about two different things. Are you talking about playing him in the deep line midfield positions, or are you talking about playing him in the striker roles and the 10 roles? It's two different positions we're talking about. That's what I don't understand why everyone keeps saying. We know he's a utility player, but he's not that good. So the best thing to do is to play him. He's a sub player that comes on and he changes the game like a Fellaini, which is what you lot were talking about. That makes sense.
What does Norgard play?
Oh, bruv. I don't know. Norgard's better than Marino.
What's our strongest?
That's what I'm saying.
What's our strongest team?
Doesn't have Marino in it.
In terms of midfield and front three. Because for me, it's probably. I'm not even sure if Zubimendi gets into it. I think
he's going to have to because we're going to need him in Europe. He's been bought for Europe.
Are you saying without Saka or with Saka?
Yeah, with Saka. If everyone's fit.
Oh, Dan, if you want to share my screen, I can show everybody.
But that's what. But you're going to put Eze on the left.
Yeah, of course.
That is it says they're going to play the way
zoom in, yeah.
He start position
That's it.
Eze's starting position at Palace.
Mourinho in the 10 is our best position. Oh, I was gonna say.
No. It's the default from the Liverpool game. Calm down. Don't worry.
Okay.
Eze's not a left winger.
That's
Right.
the problem there for me.
It's
Eze
still
on
our
the
best
left.
team.
I think this is the best way to play.
It is.
Eze basically has he can occupy this space. Odegaard's basically going to occupy this space. Saka's going to be out here, and when we're attacking, really and truly, it's going to look like this.
Do you think Eze is going to get away with playing like he did at Palace?
Yeah.
Because at Palace he wasn't doubling up on the doubling up. He wasn't doing that. He was playing he started his starting position when he came to the Emirates. So he started his position on the left, but he occupied a lot of the time in the middle, and sometimes he was just behind Mateta. That's how when they came against Palace against a team like Arsenal, who were one of the best teams in the country. So at Arsenal, I don't see Eze.
What would you do then, Kenny? What's your 11? What would you change in this 11, Kenny?
You know what? In that 11, I can't play Eze there. I struggle to see where. To be honest, Eze's been bought for a lot of money, and I was convinced that he was going to start Anfield. And when I saw that team, all right, I said horses of courses, but even now, I'm not sure because the way Mikel Arteta asks Martinelli to play in that position, he's going to expect the same for Eze because he expects the same with Trossard. Trossard still has to do his defensive work, where that's not Eze's game. And you guys are talking about getting the best out of Eze. You're not going to get the best out of Eze doing what Martinelli's doing. I promise you won't. You won't. When he was at Palace, he started position on the left-hand side and he went into the middle where he could dictate the game. He's not going to be allowed to do it here. So a question I need to ask you all that I was trying to ask you 2 weeks ago, we all want Eze in the team. How is he going to work at Arsenal? It's a pertinent question.
Yeah, I said this before. I genuinely believe that Eze, once he starts playing on the left in this team, is going to become the best left winger in the league. I said this back then and I'll say it again. I'll stand by it. I really don't see the problems that everyone else sees with him playing on the left. I think him on the left is going to be.
You're trying to say that. You're trying to say that he's going to be allowed to play the way he did at his Palace with this coach. I don't think so.
But I think the way he plays is so. He's so gifted with the ball. I think like it suits our game and it suits what we need. I really don't see.
I agree with you, but there has to be. But the guy, first and foremost, you have to be disciplined tactically, especially off the ball. And it's not just him; it's Amorim and it's with Guardiola. That's why I call them Philistines, because they care more about winning the ball back every 10 seconds and what you like off the ball than the ball play. And I'm saying that you've got a player that has that je ne sais quoi, a player we all wanted, but again, I can only see it working in Odegaard's position.
Let me ask you a question then, Kenny. Yeah. So you see, what would make you say Eze has been good on the left? Like if he like is it a stats and what would make you say, okay, you know what?
I think the thing is, right, depends if we're on the front foot, all right, and we're against certain teams, obviously in the left. But all right, let's get an example. Against Moldova, he didn't start on the left-hand side. Tuchel put him in the middle.
And it was terrible.
But even though he was terrible, but he put him in the middle. He played Rashford at the left. He didn't put him in the left. He put him in a position where he feels that that's where he plays his best football. Mikel Arteta is trying to accommodate a player that he spent millions and millions of pounds on. And I'm saying that's great, but how are you going to get the best out of him? We're asking the same thing about Gyokeres. How are we going to get the best out of Gyokeres? These are two.
I think Eze on the left brings a lot out of Gyokeres, though. I hope
so, but I'm just saying from a sort of defensive and tactical point of view, is he going to be allowed to play the way he did at Palace and dictate the games?
This is another thing where we have to wait and see, because I'm not going to lie to you.
You have to wait and see, but I have concerns.
There's a lot of guesswork happening here based off of.
Well, it has to be, but
not necessarily the same.
Yeah, but it's legitimate guesswork, though, Odegaard, because Mikel Arteta hasn't changed the way he played in a year and a half.
No, but Mikel Arteta has. 1 second, that's not true.
Obviously, it's true. It is true. He plays the same way.
He has
How
changed.
has he changed the way we play? Give me an example.
Okay. I fundamentally view things differently than you do. When he has different personnel, when he has different personnel on the pitch, he plays different to suit their strengths. Do you not disagree? Do you disagree with that?
Well, yeah, because I don't see any evidence of that against PSG, where he changed the way he played. He knew that if he tried to play football against this PSG team, going by what we saw in the second leg, it weren't going to happen. That's why he decided to play the long ball game and try and dominate from set pieces. And when PSG weathered the storm and when it became a football match, we were dead.
Do you guys honestly agree with Kenny that we play the same way? Doesn't matter the personnel.
I think we change it up. I don't necessarily agree that we were dead. I think we're actually good in that second leg against PSG. I think we started.
But that was until they weathered the storm, and after that, we were dead.
We weren't dead. We got back into the game. Saka missed an open goal.
What chances did we create after that? After the Donnarumma made a save, what dominance did we have in that game? After they weathered the storm in that second half,
Saka missed an open goal.
No, we should have been about 3.
We could have scored like 3 goals in that second half.
But after they weathered the storm, it was 0. What happened afterwards? Because from what I saw, they got into the game and they began to dictate the play.
So ignore the dominance at the beginning. Ignore the part in the.
When did it get us?
We were about to score.
It didn't get us anywhere. We lost the game.
Ignore 40% of the game and just speak about 60%.
Yeah, but why not? Because the other 60% ended up with PSG going to Munich and winning the Champions League. You don't get any prizes for.
I wish I could have told my math teacher when I was younger. Ignore the other 60% of the exam.
But football's a results business exam. Your math teacher will tell you football's a results business. Just forget your probability, which you did at maths. It doesn't matter. It's about the result.
Just grade me on the 60% of the exam that I did well on. Listen,
hey, I'm failing you. You're failed. You're getting a D.
I graduated from university flying colors, so lucky for me.
With what rating though? With what rating though?
By the way, I've got a degree from UCL, so snack.
Hey, it's not about me though. Let's get back to the football.
Right,
honestly, guys,
it's always about you. It's always about you.
Hey, can I be honest, guys? I feel like we're doing too much guesswork. We're doing too much guesswork. I don't feel like a lot of the stuff we're concerned about. I think a lot of the stuff that we're concerned about, these guys are professionals. They've been focusing on trying to improve these things. They're not idiots. They see the same issues that we all see. They can see the creativity issues. That's why they signed Eze. They can see that we needed a striker. That's why they signed Gyokeres. They can see that we needed squad depth. That's why they got Mascara and Nani Madueke and these guys. And 3 games into the season, instead of saying, you know what, prove me wrong, show me what you're doing, I feel like we're looking at the first 3 games and then we're going back to last season and we're coming up to conclusions that nothing's changed. And in my opinion, we've not even given an opportunity for them to show that they're going to change. He showed in that first game versus Manchester United that we're trying to play a little bit faster. He showed the team showed versus Leeds that they were trying to play the balls into the channels to get us more quicker attacks. Versus Liverpool, factory reset. We didn't do any of those things because the level of opponent made us maybe play a little bit more cautious. I'll give you that. But I'm looking at the next 3 games or 4 games until the next international break. And if we see a similar performance, then maybe there's cause for concern. But right now, I'm not too worried.
I don't want to see us.
Just have patience.
I don't want to see us be too. I want to see us open up. I want to see us go for teams. I want to see us try and score goals. I want to see us create. That's why my team is different. I wouldn't start. All right, in Europe it might be different when we need to, when it's more about conceding less and being tighter and fine margins, 2 legs. Cool, it's different. But in terms of Premier League home games, especially, I would play Declan Rice in the 6. I would play Martin Odegaard in the right 8. I'll play Eze in the left 8. Right? Then no one's out of position. Odegaard plays as an 8 anyway.
Who left wing?
I'll just hold on. I get there. I play Rice. I play Odegaard right 8. I play Eze left 8. I'll play Saka, obviously, if he's fit, right wing. Gyokeres starts up front. And I'll start Madueke on the left. Martinelli's had way too many chances, but he doesn't deserve to be in this team right now. Madueke deserves a chance. All right, we all wrote him off before he came. He's proved some people wrong so far. I think he's been all right. Look, for England, he looks all right. He deserves a chance in this team. I thought he was good against Leeds.
So you dropped Zubimendi, basically?
it's not dropping. It's changing the style. Declan Rice for me is the best ball winner, best defensive midfielder in this team, in this squad. I like Zubamendi, but he's defensive minded. He's not someone that's going to get into the front third. All right, he got an assist against Bilbao. It was a nice ball in, but it was a first time cross. Like, he's not going to be doing that every week. That's not what he's in the team for. You know, I want more attacking players. I was just looking at this. Is mad that this came into my mind. Remember that goal that Jack Wilshere scored against Norwich?
Yeah.
Goal.
With Giroud,
Right. Just looking at the front four, front six, right? We had Arteta and Flamini as a double pivot. But Flamini used to sit. Arteta would get forward. He was always forward. Remember the goal against City he scored on the edge of the box when he banged it in bottom corner? He was more of an attacking player for us. And we had Wilshere, Ozil and Cazorla, behind Olivier Giroud. That's 3 players. Any of those players can get the ball in behind. Any of those players can put it on, on Giroud's head, on his foot. We need that amount of attacking quality behind our striker for our striker to be able to perform. So I don't want to see Zubamendi, Rice, Odegaard behind Gyokeres, and then Saka's playing high and wide. Martinelli or Madueke's high and wide. You need someone, or at least 2 or 3 players behind Gyokeres for him to be able to perform at the level we want him to perform at.
Yeah, but
for me, that is Eze and Odegaard playing those balls.
Too many dribblers. There's too many dribblers on the pitch.
I agree with Christian. I think when we're playing the likes of Nottingham Forest and no disrespect to these teams at home, and we're the home team, I think we should be putting teams to the sword. I totally agree. I think we've got enough quality defensively, and I'm like Christian. I think we slow it down too much with Zubamendi and Rice in midfield together. I think we just naturally slow the pace of the game down, and I'm definitely all for that. Putting Saka and Odegaard and Eze in a more central role, and putting Madueke out on the left and Gyokeres. I think Gyokeres will make runs. I think he'll be confident in making those runs when he's got that attacking lineup behind him. So I think Gyokeres will get more chances. In Europe, perhaps away from home, you can be a little bit more kind of cautious and play Zubamendi and Rice, but definitely at home, we can definitely expand a little bit. So for once, I do agree with Christian on that. I've got to be honest. I actually agree with that.
I'll go one further. I might as well do it. It's an unpopular opinion. It'll make everyone's head explode, but I might as well show it. This is what I would do if we have everyone fit, personally. People won't like it, but I think if you're good enough, you're old enough. And I'd play Darman right wing, Saka left wing, Rice, Zubamendi, Eze.
I don't think that's crazy, man. I think you got to allow people to be great. It depends. Wait, you been every Premier League game, or?
Of course not. No, but when everyone's fit, and if I was to go right, Dan, you're in charge right now. You're in charge right now.
It's a good option. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
That's a stinker, man. That's an absolute stinker.
No.
You can't. Why? Saka's one of the best right wingers in the world. You're moving him left wing for a 15-year-old kid. I like Dalman. I think it's quality.
Christian. Look what
the only change I would make, Dan. The only change I would make is take Odegaard out and put Wanyeri in.
Odegaard's not in there.
I'd go with mine and Christian's lineup.
Odegaard's not in there.
Sorry.
No, I'd go with mine and Christian's lineup with Madueke on the left, Saka on the right, Eze. But instead of playing Odegaard, if he don't buck his ideas up, I'd play Wanyeri.
Odegaard's not in there.
No. On our
your
lineup,
one you mentioned.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Dan. With this team, again, I'd rather have 5 attacking players. I'd rather start Odegaard instead of Zubamendi. Push him a bit higher, just next to Eze.
You can't Zubamendi. You got to figure out how to get the best out of him. You can't.
You know what the problem is? The problem ain't Zubamendi. We're all dumping Zubamendi out. The problem is our left-hand side, man. The problem is the left. That's why it's either play a left winger like Eze, who's not a winger, like Madueke, who's a right winger. Clearly, we saw him on the left. He stunk the gaff out. Martinelli and Trossard, who we both want to sell. It's got to be one more player on the left.
Saka on the left. Saka's not a left winger.
Is he not? Did he not grow up playing there? I've seen him play on the left many times.
Yeah, but Dan, can I just say something? All right, sometimes when it comes to Matt Stallman, I feel like I'm the bloke that tells a kid that Father of Christmas don't exist, or I'm the bloke that says the Tooth Fairy don't exist, and that I always want to put a fiver in a pillow. This Matt Stallman, phenomenon, clearly, there's something there. but now.
It's a bit early.
Don't you think it's a bit early? Like he played against
I'm
Leeds.
not saying play him every game. I'm just saying the question was, when everyone's fit, name your team. That's not the team that starts every week. Name your team, man. That's my team right now.
I wouldn't start him. I don't think he's ready yet. I think that.
I don't think he's less ready than the other players.
But I think the Leeds game, the game was already won. Pre-season is what it is. Pre-season, and that I just think he needs a lot more development. It doesn't send a good message to someone like Ranieri, where Ranieri, in my opinion, is in front of him in terms of like ability. He's better than him at the moment. Don't mean it's forever, and that. We've asked the guy to sign a 5-year contract, and then in the same breath, we're utilising someone who's 3 years younger than him.
Yeah,
even though we're sure of his ability.
Do you think Damon's better than Ranieri? Do you guys think Damon's better than Ranieri?
At the moment, no, he isn't, because Ranieri is further developing his career. But maybe in the future, he probably is going to be better than. But all I'm saying about Max Damon, I think we need to calm down in it. He played against Leeds, a 4-0, the game was won. Of course, you want the kid to go and enjoy himself. Pre-season is where basically you're getting your fitness. But I think where he is at the moment, when he came against Liverpool, game was already done. Liverpool already seen it out. I think, who knows? I'm here to be proven wrong. I'm here to be proven wrong.
I'm here to be proven wrong as well. All I will say is, I think we are going way over the top with. Is why you chose it. Rooney was 16, Owen was 16, Theo Walcott was 16. This is 12 months older.
Is Max
They're playing every week. They're playing every week.
I know, but it's Max Damon on that kind of level, because when we saw,
I don't know yet, Kenny. It looks like it. I don't know yet.
When Rooney was 16,
don't we? We're not going to find out if we leave him in the reserves till he's 19.
I know what you're saying, but the thing is, when I first saw Marco Owen play and I saw Wayne Rooney play, I nearly fell out of my chair. Do you have that kind of falling out of your chair sort of like feeling when Max Damon
close to it? And I was old enough to see Owen and Rooney at 16. And I've not done it since then. I've not done it since then. I've done it with Lamine Yamal, and I've done it with Lamine Yamal, and I've done it with Max Damon. Lamine Yamal was a different level because he's doing it at an unbelievable tournament. I can only go with what I've seen eye test wise, not what people have done or won in the game. I just go by the eye test and I go, he's bloody good, he's bloody good, and he's bloody good. Now, obviously, Owen and Rooney were winning stuff at that age, right? 16. They're not winning stuff, but obviously they were doing it at top level. Damon's not been having that chance yet, right? Lamine Yamal has got that chance. I'm not saying play him every minute of every single game, right? Let's just calm down. Right now, for me, if you said to me, Dan, you're the manager, and a lot of people don't want me to be by looks in the chat, I would say this is my 11. Now, we might go and get battered 4-0, but I would play that team because I feel like Max Dalman right now is ready. If you're good enough, you're old enough. Now, Ethan Waneri, I love Ethan. He's my guy. He's one of my favourite players. But right now, I'm looking at, on that right-hand side, who looks better. Max Dalman looks better than Ethan on the right. I'm sorry, Ethan looks better centrally to me.
It's a big queue there because you got Saka, who's the team's built around. You got Madueke, who let's face it, has started really well for us, and he's done well for the national side. And then obviously you got Max Dalman. Man, bloody hell, sport for choice there, aren't we?
Well, the problem we're sport for choice on the left. Because on the left, people are going Madueke or Trossard or Martinelli, or maybe we'll have to play Saka there.
Don't rule out Madueke playing a lot of games on that left-hand side.
He will. He played a lot for Chelsea on the left, and he played a lot of his better football for Chelsea on the left.
Is Damon ready to start for a title challenging team, though? That's what the question is, isn't it? Like, we know he's good enough to play, but is he ready? We don't
know unless we try.
We're not just going for the title in the Premier League. We're actually going for the Champions League.
But my question, though, D, to that, my question back to that would be, tell me what happens if we play Max Dalman. He has a bad game like Martinelli and gets dropped the next game, or does he go down forever and we think he's a disgrace? Like, I just don't see the massive risk here. I don't see the risk. We play one game, it's like, I didn't work. Max, you're back on the bench. Ethan, it's your turn.
Yeah.
I don't really see it. It's like this, oh my God, he's starting a 15-year-old. He's going to go wrong.
You're not starting a complete scrub, are you? You're not taking any chances with a scrub. You're taking chances with a quality young player.
In quality.
I get what you mean, but I feel like in response to that, it's like, let's imagine he does come on and he plays well. do you keep him there for the rest of for the remainder of the season because he's playing well? Is that feasible to kind of say, yeah, this is
No,
our
I
now
think that's
starting?
like every player. You're going to have to, even if the say we pick an 11 and it like wins 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0 in 4 in a row. You can't play it for 6 or 7 games in a row. You've got to rotate. So it goes for every single player. I don't know. It's not going to happen, by the way. This is a crazy, crazy thing. It's never going to happen.
Don't rule it out. Don't rule it. This is factually going to happen. You know, where Gal says we can't like look in the crystal ball and you look in the future. I'll tell you one thing: it's factually going to happen. The players we've mentioned are going to get games because we are going to get injuries. Simple. You know, you think about the intensity of the World Cup qualifiers, then you've got the intensity of the Champions League games. Factor in the League Cup, then you've got the league that we have to win this year. There's going to be injuries. You know, so these guys are going to get games. We're going to find out sooner rather than later, Dan. And that includes Max.
Dan, with your team that you showed, obviously Saka's not going to be fit. Don't think he's going to be fit for Nottingham Forest. So if you could start a team then against Forest, you put Dalman on the right, Gyokeres up front. Who would you put on the left against Forest?
If I'm honest with you,
Saka's not fit.
If Saka's not fit,
Forest, he's back.
No, he's not going. He's not.
I hope not.
If he ain't fit, Saka ain't fit, which I don't think he will be. Then I would play Eze left and Waneri in the middle.
No Odegaard.
No, I
just
don't.
On the right hand side, Dan, did you play Madeline Kane?
I played
that Valman.
Yeah, I play Dalman right now. I would, real talk. And I bring on
the thing is, I like what Dan's mindset is because the thing is, you got to let people be great. And you can't be scared to let people be great. A lot of people don't let players be great. And that's how you become great with that kind of bravery and that kind of trust in the player. So that's the reason why we have these top of the range players like the Messis and the Neymars and that, because those managers let them be great. So that's the only thing. The only problem I've got is our fan base, the social media narrative around our club currently. Like, it's not so much about him and whether he's good enough. It's more about us as grown men. Are we able to also be patient and nurture him? It's not just about because I think if he was at Liverpool, like I say, the Rio, look at the point of where the club is. We're a bit too desperate as grown men to be relying on a 15-year-old currently, I feel. That's the only thing. I think it's just a bit too... I don't think we've got time to really nurture him, but he needs that freedom to just play and just be himself, because if he really is the truth, then he will be able to handle it anyway. But I think the Wolves are out for us. We argue with each other. What we're going to do?
I just think all I think is this, right? And this is not me saying Arteta, if you don't play him now, he's going to ruin his career. That's not what I'm saying at all, right? I'm just saying, if we forget age for a minute and we use our eye test, who's been our best player in the last month? It's been this kid, right? Clearly, there's been no one near him, right? I think you have to get that into your team somehow. I don't think you have to start it every minute of every game. Maybe he plays a half. Maybe he starts a half. Maybe he does 61 game, comes on for 20 the next. I just think we need to implement him in a bit more. I don't know that 5 minutes at Anfield was enough.
You know what it is, right? I think if we were like for Paisley's Liverpool, Sir Alex's Man United, where there was a continuity of trophies coming season after season, we were winning the league every year, we could do that. But I think the problem at Arsenal is that, especially this season, the pressure is just excruciating, mate. Everyone's feeling it. Every podcaster here knows it. And it's a case of, you play him, it don't work out. What the hell were you doing? And you don't play him, it's another thing. Well, yeah, maybe you could have used.
I'll tell you what then, Kenny. We'll come back to you on that point quickly, right? Mikel Arteta was about to get sacked. 3 kids saved him. Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe.
True,
17, 18, and 18. And we're looking at Max Dalman like he's some scrub. Like, you can't.
No, he's not. Max Dalman is a scrub. But the problem is, because of the pressure we're under, everyone, we're all going down. Well, not everyone, but most of us are going down that experience route. We need experience because of the situation, the pressure. The 6-pointers. Going into that running, we need that experienced man. We need to be mentally right. Is a midfield. All right, the guy's going to play a bit, like without a care in the world, and we want that kind of panache, no worries here and there. But in essence, the press that's you want your more experienced players. However, he will get games because there'll be injuries. So it's not a case of me saying he shouldn't play with experience. He'll play anyway because there's injuries down that right hand side or injuries in other positions where he can occupy. He'll get games because Ethan did. Look at Miles Lewis-Skelly. Miles Lewis-Skelly, basically like took possession of that like left back shirt when Calafiori's injured, and when Calafiori came back, he couldn't get the shirt back. Obviously, now it's his shirt, and Miles Lewis-Skelly has to either bide his time or try and wrestle it back. But that's the situation we're going to find this season.
I think it's about whether or not he is far and away. I think certain players, they're far and away better than everyone else. I think when Yamal was probably playing, he was probably a lot better than everyone. And I think the same with Messi's and the same with the Neymars. I think Rooney, Owen, they were far and away better than the players that they were playing with. So I think the point is Dalman far and away better than Waneri, far and away better than Madueke, far and away better.
I think you know what Max does? You know what it is with Max Dalman? When you watch him play, what you're seeing is like, when you see great players play, the first thing you notice, without even looking at the ball skill, is a change of pace. Just out of nothing. In all the great, Gazza had it when he was playing, when he was at his best.
Yeah, he has that.
He now has it, a change of pace. Messi had it. Cristiano, when he was a winger, he had that sort of change of pace, and that's what separates the great players from the very, very good players. Where you just think they're unplayable. They have that kind. When I say change of pace, it's basically that gene, that unplayable gene. So I can see where Dan's coming from. He's seen that kind of change of pace and that unplayable gene, and what you're seeing is something different. I'm assuming that's what you're saying, Dan. When you see Max playing in pre-season, you saw him against Leeds, you went, bloody hell, that's a bit different from what we've been seeing.
Dan, do you think he's better than Madueke, for example?
It's hard for me to say yes without seeing more games from both of them, because I haven't seen enough of Madueke yet either. But right now, if you was asking me who would I rather see in an Arsenal shirt playing and taking players on, it would be a Max Dalman, yeah. It would be. And I don't think Madueke has been bad, by the way. I was against the signing when it first happened. Now it's a squad player signing. I'm calm with it. However, I think he's done well, and I thought he was really good tonight for England again. Apparently, he played well.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I was watching it in the background.
I honestly, I want to see more of this Dalman kid. I might be alone. It might just be me.
No, you're not alone.
I want to see him.
I think you get your wish.
I want to see him. What I want to see. Sorry, Kenny, but what I want to see, I don't care who plays. I just want to see this manager stop playing players out of form. Whether it's Max Dalman coming in, whether it's Waneri coming in, I don't care who comes in. I'm just fed up with rocking up at Arsenal and for 75 minutes watching Odegaard and players like Martinelli that are bang out of form when you've got the likes of Max Dalman and Waneri and players like this on the bench. I'm just fed up with this manager playing safe all the time and being too cautious and just playing players out of form. So I don't care whether it's Max Dalman. I don't care if it's Waneri. I don't care who it is. I just want this manager to make big decisions at the right time in the game. And,
Marley Salmon.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I just want to see the manager going right. He's dropping the stinker.
Do we think, DJ? Do we think this is probably going to be the team at the weekend? Do we think this is probably going to be the team? Raya, Timber, Mosquera, because Saliba's out, we believe. Right. Gabriel, Calafiori, Rice, Subamendi, and Odegaard, and then Madueke, Eze, and Gyokeres.
I would say that is everyone's.
I think you'll play Skelly though.
No, he won't. Calafiori will play.
Yeah, I think he'll play Skelly.
Nah, I think Calafiori. I think that's bang on the team. I'll bet a lot of money that will be 100%.
That's bang on the team, but I don't.
Do you think Calafiori's ahead of Skelly at the moment?
Yeah, I think Calafiori's ahead of Skelly, but I think it's going to be based on games. I think he'll play. I think he'll play Skelly, and I wouldn't.
I think they're very similar. You know, it sounds crazy because of how different they look physically, but they're actually what they do for the team is very similar. I think they're both.
No, I think Calafiori's way more attacking.
Miles Lewis-Skelly, we saw towards the end of last season, was getting forward a lot.
Yeah, he's a dominating in the box as well. He scores goals and he shoots and he assists. He's different.
See Miles Lewis-Skelly get some assists. We haven't got that on
the right side though, have we? Timber's a brilliant brilliant defender. Brilliant defender, but he doesn't give us that attacking option, does he?
We don't necessarily need it on the right.
I think that could come. I think that could come.
And that's what worries me with a Timber and Madueke, because I was noticing that Madueke was having, doing all the run, but Timber wasn't giving him that option, like that overlapping.
I think on the left, obviously the right hand side we know about when everyone's fit is going to be Timber, Odegaard, Saka, right? The left hand side for me, if you are going to play Eza left, you have to play Calafiori. I don't think you can play Lewis-Skelly.
I agree with that. Yeah, but you know what, Dan? Is he? Obviously, we got a game in Europe as well. A few days later, does that same team play in Bilbao? Does he make
great shout?
The Champions League starts this week. Next week.
Yeah, so next Tuesday we got
45.
We ain't got Bilbao. Is it Bilbao?
Yeah, Athletic Bilbao.
Away.
Bilbao. Our first two games against Atletico Madrid.
It is a good shout. He's going to have that in mind for sure. Maybe Lewis-Skelly starts one, Calafiori starts one. I don't think Ben White's back, but I think he'll start. He was fit. You can start Ben White in one.
Starting Eze? Seriously, do you think he's starting?
I think he's starting Eze.
I think he will. Yeah. It's at home as well. It's an easy decision.
You're never sure with this manager, but you don't. A game at Nottingham Forest, his first home game of the season. Nottingham Forest are managerless. Big Ange's got the job. Hopefully, Big Ange plays inverted wingers, mind you. It'd be a very pork chop move against us to play inverted wingers. So I think it just won't change it. But
I would love to see him go a bit more attacking against Forest, especially knowing how Ange is going to try and set up. And then I wouldn't mind.
Ange set up like that. Will Ange learn his lesson?
There'll be more space. I think there'll be more space. Whereas Bilbao are a good team. They won 3 out of 3 in the league this season. I wouldn't mind going a bit more.
Bilbao in the Emirates Cup or one of those.
Yeah, we beat them 5-1.
No, we beat them 3-0.
Yeah, it was pre-season.
It was 3-0. Yeah, the last game.
Do you reckon he could? I'm just putting this out there, but do you reckon that he could not play Eze against Forest and play him against Bilbao and play Trossard on the left?
No, DJB, you're trying to get us angry.
No. I'm just putting it out there.
I think we could do it the other way. I think we could play Trossard.
It is a possibility, though. You can't rule it out with this guy because he's got enough options to do that.
No.
I'd rather see Trossard than Martinelli, though. I don't really want to see Martinelli starting.
We're doing this against Liverpool,
Hey, DJB, you keep that over there, all right? You stay away from all of that.
I wouldn't actually mind.
I'm just thinking like Arteta here at the moment.
Let's say he plays Trossard against Bilbao. I wouldn't actually mind that really, because Trossard's all right in the Champions League, scores goals, got experience. I'd need to see Eze start, man, at the weekend.
Yeah, Eze.
We're not going to meet again until we have both those games are done. So let's get some predictions about how we think this is going to go, and then we'll wrap up. Christian, 2 games, Forest, Bilbao, very different games. Predictions for these two, bruv.
Score predictions.
Yeah.
Against Forest, I'll go 3-0. And against Bilbao, I'll go 1-1.
Oh, okay. Interesting. DJ?
I think team selection is going to play a big part against Forest because he will be conscious of their counter-attack. And that's what he'll be thinking of. So, do you know what? I can't go back on my word. I was a bit caught. I was a bit worried about it. Unless we don't attack enough and Gyokeres don't get the service, I can see this being a draw, I can see Forest getting a draw. 1-1. Wow. Yeah. Okay. And Bilbao, I'm going to go away win. I think we're suited for the Champions League. I think we're going to get a 2-1 win in Bilbao.
Okay, D.
I think we're a close game. I think 2-1 or 3-1 win to Arsenal. I think it only takes a couple of goals for Gyokeres for everyone to forget about it. If he scores one or anything, no one will really think about it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll be a 2-1 or 3-1 win. I think it's gonna be a hard game though. I think it's gonna be a really hard game. I think we're underestimating it. And we need this win badly because we've got City and Newcastle coming up. So this is like as just as important as any other game we'll play. We need this win bad. And Bilbao, I think we'll probably draw that game away. I think we'll draw Bilbao still, but yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What are you telling me, Kenny?
I think Forest it's not gonna be a pretty watch, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I think it'll be 2-1 against Forest, and I think against Bilbao, if we can keep Nico Williams quiet, I think we'll win 1-0.
And the other brother, 2 of them.
Oh yeah. But I think Nico's the biggest outlet. He's a very good player. I've got a lot of time for him. But Nico's the guy that is going to win them the game. He's their danger man for me.
Okay, I'm going to go at the weekend. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. I think we're going to beat Forest. I just think that they're such an unsettled club, and Ange Postecoglou is walking in the door and trying to flip a side that plays very, very comfortable at the back and hits people on the counter, and he's going to go all out attack, and I think that's going to open them up. So I fancy us 2-0. And away, I'm with Kenny. I think it's 1-0 to the Arsenal away. I'm not bothered about Athletic Bilbao. I think it's going to be a quality away day, and if I had more time, I probably would have tried to get out there. However, I feel like they're a side. I mean, this is the side that Man United turned over to get to the final of the Europa League.
Champions League's different, though, Dan. You know.
Yeah, but I don't fear them. Is what I'm getting at.
I fancy us 2-1 in Bilbao.
I fancy us. I think we'll beat them 1-0. I think
we got to play. We got to work out. We got to work our nuts off the ball. Seriously, got to work our nuts off. And any chance we get, we'll be clinical.
Yeah. Look, I that's what I'm fancying anyway. But you know, I'm toxic and negative, so why am I going 2 wins for Arsenal?
Read the script, you know, that I've written you.
I just see signs of like Brighton at home and things like that against Forest. I just see
Forest. They just got 3-0 by West Ham at home.
Yeah, I know, but this is
I think they thought what they had to do is turn up because West Ham were allegedly were in the mud before the first 2 games. They got absolutely mullered by Chelsea at their own ground. But football's a funny old game. You don't know what's happening. If you write any Premiership team outside the promoted side at your peril, you get your ass handed to you. Sorry for the ladies in the chat and kids watching. Should be studying really, but yeah.
and guys, and it's 12:30
at 11 p.m.
It's 12:30 kickoff, Dan. You know what the
they probably got some coursework they should have done a week ago, innit? You know what kids are like. You know,
oh, Kenny, you killed me, man. It's 11 o'clock. They're going to be in bed, man.
Or something. That's what Matt Stammer should be doing. Matt Stammer should be doing GCSE coursework. He's reviewing his English literature assignment of To Kill a Mockingbird instead of wasting his time
of my cement.
You didn't play football. You know what I mean?
Oh dear. All right, let me do this. Let me do these.
That's another thing, Dan. It's 12:30 kickoff as well. It's horrible kickoff at the Emirates.
I hate it. I hate 12:30.
Yeah, exactly. The crowd's a bit.
I absolutely hate it. I'm fairly confident, but you know,
I hate playing on TNT Sports as well, man.
I've been wrong before.
Hey, we might see you on TNT Sports, maybe. You never know.
I don't think so this time. Maybe later in the season, but not this one. Not this one.
I'll tell you one thing. Mark Changer. Yes, I'll be watching the cricket. I'll be watching the Ashes. I'll be staying up for the Ashes this November up until the new year. I know cricket is like gobbledygook to a lot of you guys on this panel, but cricket
it's dibbly dobblies, isn't it? Dibbly dobblies.
Not me, Kenny.
No, you actually get dibbly dobblies in cricket. We've got a dibbly dobbly called Trossard who plays for us.
Miles Smith, I did read that one out, so big up to you, bro. We've got Mikel Arteta in the house. Big up, man. Big up, Mikel. He says, trust me, guys, Moyes ball is the future. Arjan says, good job that Gal never let Arteta leave. From a Liverpool fan, I hate it when that. We'll get so many Chelsea and Liverpool fans like, please keep Arteta. Yusuf, Saka, Gyokeres and Noni. Eze, Rice, and Ethan. Okay, if we can track back for 90 minutes, we can attack for 90. Trust the defense, let the attack cause chaos. I actually do agree that we should change it up in the home games more against Brentfords and West Hams and Wolves, and actually go. We don't have to play Rice and Zubimendi in every single game, in my opinion. So I agree with that. JJ says we haven't played well at all so far. Nothing's changed from last season to now. What is Gal seeing that I'm not? We're not winning anything. Stop with the protection of this manager. Well, we're going to find out this season if this manager is going to be able to continue or not. Always, Mohammed says, if Liverpool and City had the best defence of the league, they let them attackers up higher. I think we do have to trust our defence more. I really do. Andre says, Ayarzabal slept on. Won't shock me if we sign him. We're going to go for another striker. Can you imagine if we go for another striker?
He's a goal hanger, though. He's a goal hanger, though, isn't he? That's about.
He's done well. He's done all right, though, isn't he? He's done all right, I think, in the last couple of years. I don't know.
Goal hanging against England and won Euros for Spain with goal hanging.
He does a goal hang, that's for sure. He does.
But can't sign another social player, can we?
Say again?
So we can't sign another player from social. The player we should have got from social is Isak. He's the one we missed out on.
The only one that we didn't go for. Isn't it crazy, eh?
Odegaard, Mendy, and Marino got their whole midfield.
Yeah, it is quite crazy.
Look how that's going.
Look, we're gonna say bye. It's been a great show. I said we'd only do an hour. I knew that was a lie. We've definitely done more than that. And big up to everyone. I really mean that. You're all legends. Let's shout out what you got coming up. D, start with you, bro.
Yeah, just same old, man. Just lives and videos, man. You know what I mean? Just all things football, man. So big up the panel, big up you lot, man. I like this show, man. So yeah, this is one of my regulars that I like to do, man. I talk some proper football with some real Arsenal. It's not often I get to talk to actual Arsenal fans constantly. I'm always talking to rival fans for some reason. I don't know how that's happened. I didn't plan for that, but yeah. Big up you lot, though, man.
Big up you too, man. You're always welcome, bro. Kenny Ken, make sure you're following Kenny. What you got coming up, Kenny? Jumping on any other shows?
Well, I've got something with D, and then obviously it's the weekend watching the Arsenal, and obviously I'm staying away from Central London. I don't want Tommy to come and get me. Yeah. I don't want Tommy to come. Tommy, don't hurt me, Tommy. Please don't hurt me. I'm so scared. But at the moment, what I've got planned right now is to eat the food from the chippy my wife brought me.
Oh, nice, mate. Well, you enjoy that, bro. You enjoy that. Nice, DJ, what you got coming up?
You say bought you or cooked you? You say bought you or cooked you?
Bought chippy. No, you can't be prolific 24. 5 days a week. You got to have a day off, mate. You got to have a takeaway one day.
No, I got a live tomorrow night. Me and the Normski, big up the Normski. Got a live Sunday as well. Something to talk about. Saturday at the Emirates. Probably bump into you boys, Kenny and Dan. And all good, man. I'm busy. I'm sort of busy on Thursday, so I won't be doing much live then. But yeah, going live tomorrow night and Sunday. Got my usual session on a Sunday night.
Good stuff, man. Make sure you're following DJ.
Every time I see DJ B, he's got a new background.
Yeah. Change it up. Change it up. I like to keep it.
Change it. Christian, go for it, mate.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just check out Christian Tire Sports. Been trying to be more consistent with the content. I'll be on the watch along AFTV on Saturday. I'll be on Sky Sports after the game as well. It's about 6 p.m. So check that out. If you
do that.
Me against a Nottingham Forest fan. So result.
I saw you on the other day. I saw you the other day. No, was it you the other day?
Yeah, it was with Monts. It was Monts. Big up to both.
Yeah, Monts. Yeah. Big up. Bro.
Yeah.
Well done. Big up, bro. Big up. It's great to see you doing good things, man. So big up. Keep smashing it, mate. And it's great to see and great to have you all on. Make sure you do me a favor, people. Check out the sponsors for tonight. We've got OK jerseys, links in the description and in the live chat. £15 a shirt. You even get 8% off that as well if you use the code 12man. And the other scan QR code is for Match Bingo. So make sure you're following both of them sponsors as well. We're going to send you over to Rants. So go show him some love at the moment. And we will see you next time. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care, people. We're out of here.
Take care, guys. Big up.
Okay, everyone.